What's going on, folks? So in this video, I'm gonna give you 4 strategies to train around knee pain. Let's get right into it. So the first strategy is to reduce the range of motion of the movement. So when you're going through extended ranges of motion, such as a full depth squat or a rear foot elevated split squat, it just puts more pressure on that knee in general. So what you will want to do is perform movements such as box squats or just a regular split squat. So those movements require less range of motion at the knee joint, so that way you'll have less pressure when you're performing those particular movements. So reducing the range of motion is one simple way in order to train around knee pain. The second strategy is to perform controlled eccentrics, or just focus on the tempo of the movement. So if you have excessive movement from left to right with your knee while you're going through a squat or a rear foot elevated split squat, then that can cause a lot of stress on that knee joint. So what you will want to do is allow those stabilizer muscles time to kick in and sync appropriately when you're performing that movement. And that can prevent that excessive motion happening at the knee. So what you will want to try and focus in on is to perform 3 to 5 second lowers while you're performing your squats, your rear foot elevated split squats, your split squats, any of your lower body movements where you're having a lot of knee flexion. So just performing controlled tempo when you're going down into the bottom of the movement can definitely help reduce the amount of movement that happens at the knee by allowing the stabilizers to kick in a little bit faster and more efficiently in that movement. And the third strategy is to focus on unilateral movements or single leg movements more than bilateral movements. The reason why, if you have movement imbalances from left to right, such as a mobility imbalance or a strength imbalance, when you're performing bilateral movements, you can put more stress on one knee than the other knee. So performing the unilateral movements or single leg movements eliminates that issue altogether by itself. And it can also help you gain access to more mobility as you're performing those unilateral movements and improve your movement imbalances as well. So if those are the issues, you can hit those issues by performing unilateral or single leg movements more often. And the fourth strategy is to focus in on bending patterns over squatting and lunging patterns. So if you have an imbalance from front to back, let's just say your hamstrings are a little bit weaker than your quads, or your just posterior aspect is weaker than the front side of your body, then you may want to focus in on improving that imbalance by doing more bending patterns such as deadlifts, RDLs, over movements such as squats and lunges. The reason being because that can put a lot of excessive stress on the knee if you have that imbalance when you're going through these movement patterns. So performing more movements such as the deadlifts and RDLs over squats and lunges can definitely help improve that imbalance. And then also it could just give the knee time to recover if it's been inflamed from a lot of excessive lunge and squat pattern movement overload is what I like to call it. So if you have that issue going on, one thing to do is just reduce the amount of volume in those patterns and increase the volume of the bending patterns that you're performing in your workouts. Knee pain can be caused by many things, and one size doesn't fit all. So it would definitely be important for you to seek a trained professional in order to get a thorough assessment to make sure that you handle the root cause of your knee pain. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.